Hello. So I'm going to talk about the use of AI to create music, and to some of the younger people out there, the younger generations. I could sound like, the old man yelling at the wind, yelling at the clouds. I am 50 years old. So there's that. But my main issue with creating AI music is that you're not creating anything. I've been playing the bass guitar since the year 1991, and I played only the bass guitar until 2021, 30 years. At that point, I decided, well, I want to try something else, especially completely different. So I went with drums. And it's been a challenge since 2021 to develop my skills as a drummer. Acoustic drums. I could have gotten electronic drums, and it would have made my life a lot easier because I live in a small mobile home. But I wanted the real thing, the acoustic instrument that I can, if I want to scrape the side of the drum, it makes a certain sound. You cannot scrape the side of a electronic drum and make weird sounds with it or whatever. I digress. The point is this: the process of learning, the process of sitting down with an instrument and, well, you got to learn that these are the open strings. It's not plugged now, but that's not relevant. And then, how the patterns fit between one string and the next, and so forth. And you got to develop your technique. Otherwise, you got to develop your hands. You got to develop synchronicity. You got to develop steady rhythm. So many things, right? And that process is beautiful. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it's so good. I get off on just sitting with my instruments and trying to figure it out, working through it. That's the thrill of it. That's the beauty of it. Okay? You sit down in a computer and you type, I want a funky song about blah, 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 about cheating on your wife, whatever. Boom. Is there any pride in that? Do you go around showing that I created this? This is my work? Because you shouldn't. You didn't. All you did was type in a couple of things and the software made it. Gave you the chords, gave you the melody, gave you the lyrics from a couple of sentences. You did not create a goddamn thing. Okay? Also, flaws make it human. When you hear somebody playing an instrument or singing passionately, and sometimes their voice breaks a little bit, or sometimes you slip up, it's not in perfect rhythm or imperfect anything. You made a mistake, quote unquote a mistake, but that gives it the human element. I don't want to hear something that's just perfectly processed, polished. I don't see the point. I want to hear the humanity of it, the sweat, the tears, the emotion, or the anger, or whatever that may be that you're going for. A machine doesn't give you that, or a software program doesn't give you that. And I was watching another video of a similar subject, and of somebody that was kind of making the point that, yeah, you didn't create it yourself. So I just wanted to add a little bit something to it, the journey, the process of learning, etc. Then some of those comments, you didn't create your vocal cords. You didn't create the guitar. In the case of, let's say, painting, for example, how is a painting going to exist, going to be created, if there is no paintbrush? I don't even know how to address that, because it's so beyond stupid. Okay, you need a paintbrush and you need a canvas. For music, you need an instrument, you need your voice, etc. The fact that I didn't create the brush and I didn't create this thing, I'm not very good with tools, with cutting wood and molding it or whatever. That doesn't, you're just going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with it. The creation is from here. Yes, you have your paintbrush that you didn't make. I don't know how that's relevant. You're creating a work of art, okay, that shows whatever you want to show, the meaning you want to convey, the emotion you want to convey, and it's from here. And not only that, you have to learn different brush strokes, different techniques, how to work with shadows and lights and proportions on the canvas. That's the art. And if you do the same for pictures, you type in a few prompts, show me an elephant with wings and horns and da 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 da, boom, and it's there. You didn't create anything. Okay, it's basically like a magic wand. It's like a magic wand. Bing! There is what you wanted, and it's already made, polished, and absolute, it's all, the proportions, everything is perfect. Why? Because a machine made it. Software, code made it. Whereas if you have to struggle with it for years, in most cases, with, I need to do this, and that, oh shit, the proportions are off. Start over. That's where the beauty is. And that's getting lost with the newer generations. They just want things now. That's pretty sad. That is pretty sad. Basically, what AI is doing is just spitting out slightly altered mirror images or reproductions or modifications of existing stuff. It's just tweaking it a little to give you what you asked for. But it's not you. You didn't do shit. Oops, excuse my French. That's the bottom line. The beauty of the process is getting lost. The beauty of dedicating years to honing a craft and trying to be as good at it as you can is lost. This software can do it for me in seconds. Yes, it can. But don't go around saying you created anything. You didn't. There is no pride in that. Whereas when I sit down to write a song, I have to create it from here. And one example, I want to create a piece of music that uses a choir. Now, yes, I could go to AI and give me a choir. But I decided, obviously, that there's no pride in that. So I got me a book, and it's gonna be a good bit of work, but I want to learn and go through the process of learning the techniques of writing for voices. That's gonna take me time, but I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it. And at the end, I'm getting something that's a lot more personalized. Yes, the AI can give me a generic choir sound lifted from choral pieces, and it just reproduces that with my words or whatever. But it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. If I work through that and I figure out how to, what are the most obvious mistakes and how to avoid them, etc., 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 and then I can break some rules. That's the beauty of knowing the rules. You can break them. If you don't know anything about music, then you're, well, okay, yeah, this thing spit out a song for you. So what? Anybody can do that. But if you have spent the years and the time learning the building blocks of music, then you have that power to manipulate that, to tweak it to your liking, where every note, every idea, everything you want to convey is custom from here. You don't get that with AI. And that is my message. Peace.